Hey YouTube, hey, it's New Year's Day and I spent most of it not watching football but working on the bus. Um, we're getting trip prep ready and today's project was to get the generator fired up, and I am going to make a homemade genturi. A gen, maybe I'm not saying it right, genturi. Um, it is a thing that goes on the side of your motorhome, and it is a pipe basically that goes up to exhaust your generator fumes up and above the bus. That's so when you're boondocking next to other people, you're not gassing them out with your carbon monoxide. So anybody wants to know what a genturi is, you can Google that. They're about $100 if you want to buy one off of Amazon or something. But I'm gonna make one, and I'll cover the process. So the supplies I got for this build is a piece of 3-inch PVC, some 3-inch pipe clamps with some extra bolts, and a piece of C-shaped channel, and some rubber bumpers. So my hope is to MacGyver this all together into a functioning generator ventilation setup. So let's see what happens. So this is how I'm going to hang this from my gutter. I'm going to use a piece of C-channel. I'm going to cover this in some kind of rubber, and this will hang from here, and the bolts will stick through the backside there. I'm going to have to be careful about that because there's not a lot of depth there. Sorry for the shitty video here. But yeah, I'm going to drill 2 holes in that and put it around that pipe clamp, and then that'll hang here on the top. So this is right about where these nuts need to be to hold the pipe. The 3-inch pipe goes in here. So let's see what we got here. I want to even this up. It looks like we got just enough room to stick a nut on here, maybe a washer. I can probably make up the difference with some washers here if it doesn't quite work out right. So I'm liking how this is working out so far here. I'd like a little more engagement on that. So something like that. Crank down just a little bit more. So these are also a Home Depot item here. These clear bumpers. And this is what I'm going to use for a standoff on the bottom one to keep it from hitting my paint. You know, that'll be on the end of the bolt. But in here, I think what I'd like to do is see if I can trim one of these down, or drill it, I guess, enough here on the back side to sink that nut all the way down in there and push it on there so that it ends up in there like about this, fully submerged essentially. And slide this over each of these two nuts, and that'll help retain it in there because the gutter is just about that thick. So let's see if I can MacGyver that up. Okay, I'm not super thrilled about this setup here because it's gonna try and grab and spin in my fingers and stuff. Let's see. Safety glasses on here. I couldn't hold it in my vise because it just squish it and deform it too much. I gotta do some filing on that. Okay. Second attempt. Just barely fits in there. So now I gotta go make one more of these rubber bumpers. And drilling that out was a fiasco last time, so it'll be a fiasco this time, but I'm just gonna go do it. I'm not gonna record it. Wish me luck. So the second one went quite a bit better than the first one, just because I had a little practice. I'm just gonna jam this in there. I didn't drill it all the way out. Like that. That'll work. Okay, so now to check the fit on the bus. So that's what that looks like on the bus. There's a little bit of room left on the back side for some cushion to get added in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and have my daughter add some rubber to that or something and see what we can come up with here. A little crafty solution. I think, you know, if you got a nice sharp drill, you can just kind of do this by hand a bit, which will kind of cut it, you know, cut the inside of that, and that helps it a lot when you're drilling this rubber. You still got to drill it, but I think it gives a little help. It doesn't cut it real clean. go slow with the tip of the drill, because the tip of the drill will cut it, the sides will not. See, that one's a lot better. So I gotta make 4 of these, 2 for the top and 2 for the bottom. I'm gonna put that big drill in there. Hope I don't get penalized for having the radio playing in the background here. YouTube penalty. I'm trying hard to work this over that nut. Might need to stick it in the vise. What are you dogs doing? Huh? Maybe I need to drill this some more because it's not cooperating. Okay, I got that in there. I really had to try hard. Well, the trick is to stretch it around the nut. You gotta stretch it out. But that's a nice tight fit. I don't want it falling off of there when we're taking it up and down and, you know, camping and stuff. It's gotta be able to withstand some abuse. There's what the finished gutter rail catch looks like. It's lined with some soft stuff there to keep it from chowing up the paint. It's got the rubber bumpers on the inside. That's what the bottom bumpers look like. I might need to adjust those yet. Bring them in some more. Okay, I'm going to test this without the bottom bracket on it for the moment because I need to shorten it up quite a bit here. It's too long. I got to cut some off of it before I hack into it. I'm going to go ahead and see if this thing even works. So I'm fired up here. It's making a resonating noise. Quieter without it. That's kind of an annoying thing. That's a fail. So I put a load on it and it's making that noise. Maybe you can hear the difference. Different heights. Pretty annoying. Resonance. If you go a little further away, it drops off. So after multiple failures of the PVC design, I switched to 3-inch aluminized exhaust tube, and I've just got it mocked up here right now. It's working quite a bit better. I did have to put a baffle inside there, but the metal can tolerate the increased heat caused by the baffling and reduced flow a lot better than the PVC. With the baffle and the PVC, it also did not resonate, but it got up to 165 degrees in my 40-degree shop, so I'm shutting it off. That stuff starts melting at 200 degrees. So this is just a mock-up right now to see how it sounds, but this is fairly promising. Also, this design, because it's not plastic, allows me to set that tube up inside there further. It actually extends up inside, which helps with the noise reduction quite a bit, I think. Because there's no danger of that melting it. So I'm just going to monitor the temperature and see how this goes. So the exhaust situation is still giving me some problems. I am attempting to MacGyver a solution to the thrumming noise that's occurring. And what I'm going to do is I've taken these pieces of sheet metal and I've bent them the same. And I've cut an inch off the end of the pipe and I've slid it so that it'll slide down inside the pipe. That'll fit in there. I'm going to take these guys and arrange them like veins in here. There'll be 4 of them to start, I guess. Maybe I'll do more if it works. I might do 8, but I'm basically going to MacGyver a swirl mechanism inside this pipe. So I'm going to tack weld these in here like this, and stick it in there and see what happens. Well, I'm going to TIG weld this. You don't get to watch because I don't want to fry the whatever sensor is on my phone camera. So trying to weld that thin sheet metal wasn't working out so good for me, so I switched to rivets. And this is the swirl generator thing that I've come up with. It's pretty Rube Goldberg MacGyver situation going on here, but the deal is it goes in the pipe like this. It'll just drop in there, and we'll see what it does, see if the sound changes. All right, here it is installed. We'll go ahead and try it out, see what happens. I don't think there's much change. It's still making that kind of a thrumming noise. Okay, here's the final assembly. It's split in the middle with an exhaust clamp. That is the gutter clamp. This end has got that venturi thing in it. And I've positioned it in different places to see what the effect is, and down here seems to be the best. So I'm gonna leave it down there, but I am not happy with this totally, but I'm running out of time to mess with it, so I'm just gonna have to go with it as is. Here's a side view of what this construction looks like here. There's an exhaust clamp, a couple of those rubber bumpers that I made, and felt lined around where it's going to come in contact with the paint. Down here on the standoff, there's just the exhaust clamp, another washer and nut to take up some space, and then a couple of those rubber bumpers that stand it off and protect the paint.